Hey guys. Hey guys, Ed here. I hope you're all keeping safe and well. If you saw my previous video or my most recent video, I'll leave a link in the description down below if you've not yet seen it. I talked about my experience with bullying and how it negatively impacted my mental health and how that negative effect has stayed from childhood into my adult life. It was a heavy video, it was tough to make, it was difficult to talk about. After I made that video, I planned this video as well. I wanted to bring the mood up a little bit, and I want to talk about a positive experience that I've had with my mental health, and that is the 2 months I spent in a psychiatric hospital when I was 17 years old. So, I'm honest on this channel about mental illness. I make no secret that I suffer with depression, anxiety and paranoia. I also have another mental illness that I've not talked about yet, and I feel confident and comfortable now to talk about that. That diagnosis I got, I think it was about a year after I was diagnosed with depression. I got a diagnosis of early onset psychosis, and that didn't go away. That carried on for several more years until I got another diagnosis of paranoid schizophrenia. If you don't know what that is, it's basically auditory hallucinations where I hear a voice that is not real, it's just in my head. I hear a voice and he tells me to do horrible things to myself. And it got to the point where I was hearing this voice almost all day, every day. My sleep was impacted, my depression was impacted by it. I was just in a really bad place mentally. And I was under the care of a children's mental health team, because obviously under 18 you're still classified as a child, so that is why I was under the care of a children's mental health team. They were absolutely brilliant, couldn't fault them. I loved working with them. They're really, really great people. And it got to the point where, as I say, I was hearing this voice all day, every day. I was in a really bad place mentally, and my CPN, which stands for Community Psychiatric Nurse, she recommended that I be, I don't quite know what the correct term is, admitted, that's it. She recommended that I be admitted to a children's psychiatric hospital where I spent 2 months. And honestly, they were the best 2 months that I'd had since I started hearing this voice and was diagnosed with depression. It really just was the break that I needed. We had everything there. Like, we had round the clock care. If you couldn't sleep, you could talk to someone. There was someone on night duty, you could talk to them. And just the staff there were just really, really lovely people. And they did positively impact my life. And for that I am incredibly thankful, because I genuinely do believe if I didn't have that care from the children's mental health team, or neither did I stay in that psychiatric hospital, I do believe that I may not be here today. Just a really good time in my life was staying at that psychiatric hospital, and I know you probably wouldn't put those two things together, but I do. And this psychiatric unit was great. You know, we had a PlayStation, we had guitars, we had an organ. Like, I can't remember, I don't think it was a Hammond organ, but it was a really cool organ. You could just sit there and woo, just play loads of different tunes. It was great. What else did we have? We had sort of like a sports hall, I want to say. We had a badminton net set up, and I spent a lot of hours just playing badminton with one of the support workers. We had a table tennis table. I don't know if that's the right way of saying that. Ping pong table. Spend hours again playing ping pong. There was a school there. Granted, I had to go to school, even though I'd already left school. They said I had to go. I didn't do any classes, I just read books, but I quite like reading, so that was quite fun. And we went on days out. We went to this little zoo place where you could, like, they had the little machines where you could put a quid in or 20p and you get a bag of seed and you could feed it to the birds, and there was pigs and everything. Oh, it's just fantastic. Really, really good time in my life was staying there. And I wanted to to make this video just to say that if you are struggling with your mental health, being in a psychiatric hospital is not the end of the world, because to me, and I'm sure to many others, it actually saved their lives and it saved my life. And I know children's psychiatric units are much, much different to adult psychiatric units. I've never had to go into an adult psychiatric unit, so I don't have any experience of staying in there, but I have heard they are slightly different. But I'm sure you get the same level of care and you get the same level of treatment. And yeah, just don't see being in a psychiatric unit as the worst thing ever, because it might not be. And again, I wanted to make a more positive, upbeat video than the last video, because that really was quite taxing to make, and it really was a heavy subject to talk about. And I wanted to bring the mood up just slightly and talk about my positive experience of staying in a psychiatric hospital and how it really did have a very, very big positive impact on my mental health. And I wanted to make the Coffee and a Flat Cap series because when I was first diagnosed with depression, I didn't have any of the advice in those videos available to me. I was just sort of given antidepressants and that was it. I didn't get any literature to read. I didn't get any help or advice on how to better deal with my depression. And that's why I wanted, and I will still continue to make videos for the Coffee and a Flat Cap series. It's just in case if someone has been, if you're watching this and you've been diagnosed with mental illness, you're watching it because your loved one has got diagnosed with mental illness. They're just all ways and tips and tricks that I've learned and that I've picked up myself, as I say in the intro of those videos, in the past 14 years of battling with several mental illnesses. And I want to pass on and share what I know about how to about how you can get my words out, about how you can hopefully help your mental illness and help your mental state of mind by doing these tips and tricks and just listening to the advice in the videos. And I do really hope they're helping some people. If they are helping, then that's just fantastic. Then that's what the videos are made for. They're not made for anything else other than to help people with their mental illnesses. So with that being said, if you are interested in checking out the Coffee and a Flat Cap series, I'll leave a link to the playlist down below in the description. There's a couple of episodes so far, 5 I think. That's more than a couple really, isn't it? I think there's about 5 episodes so far. So I think I've rambled on long enough. If you are still watching this far in, thank you very much indeed. And I do hope you have a very lovely day.